Isn't all that chaos and all that murder and shooting, isn't it wonderful? Doesn't it show how wonderful life would be without police in America? To have no police whatsoever, and everyone can just go and shoot each other, shoot it out, and like in the old Wild West, and all get it over and done with mass slaughter for a little while, and then it'd all be settled down when enough of the idiots have shot themselves. End of the story. I mean, it doesn't take what's race to do with using a gun? Obviously, Al Capone used guns, and Al Capone's shadow still runs Chicago, apparently. But let's have a look at the protests against white supremacy. Yes, no one's going to deny there are racists amongst all races. To say there are racists, only racists amongst whites, and no racists amongst blacks or Chinese or Japanese, is just pure nonsense, obviously. So, what? There's a new thing going on though with this protest against white supremacy, white advantage, and white, all that sort of stuff. Black people all over the world are refusing to buy light bulbs and technology. They know that this technology is what the scourge of the world is. They know technology has become the scourge of the world and causing climate change, and technology itself disrupted the black people living comfortably in Africa for centuries and centuries in their own way of life. They were very happy, like Australian Aboriginals, very happy to go and live in that way of life undisturbed for thousands of years. And they long for that sort of life, that Stone Age sort of a life. And some men traded metal tools, but as you further went down into South Africa, there was less and less of that. So, and there's nothing wrong with that life. That was the life that nature gave them. They lived this natural life. And more and more black people in the world now are it's obviously they long for that life before white supremacists with their technology came along and took advantage over the blacks because of the technology. So you can see the problem is technology itself invented by the whites. So therefore, that's why black people all over the world now are refusing to buy light bulbs as a symbol. They're going to stop using iPads. They're going to stop driving cars, and they're going to go back as much as they can into places in Africa and demand the African cities that are developing now and getting ahead, they demand they stop this development, because this development are pure examples of white supremacy in invention, in innovation and scientific creation. They want that symbols, icons of white supremacy banned. And they're going to ask people in Africa to the cities and places in Africa where Augusta, Rwanda and all the places where it's actually going ahead, they're going to ask them to go stop this in a protest, worldwide protest against white supremacy and the arrogance that the whites have about having invented things like electricity and took out, light bulbs and power stations, and electric things, washing machines, all that sort of stuff. They're going to ban the use of them. It's going to cost Walmart and all those sorts of places a lot of money, because banning things that are produced by technology or transported by technology, that's a really big shortfall to the economy. But then that takes the economy back further to a kind of for currency days, if you like, when people lived it before white men came along and disrupted their wonderful, peaceful life. It is a sort of perfect specimens of humans in the past, and where they didn't have any technology was basic. They had the basic technology for 200,000 years or more. They could make fire, they used spears, they had cattle, that sort of basic farming and stuff like that. But they didn't get get into inventing steam engines or anything like that. And you can see that is why the longing and yearning they have for that wonderful time, that romantic ideal, that perfect past that they was ripped from them by white man's supremacy in technology, now blacks all over the world are protesting against that by refusing to buy things made through the process of technical evolution. So that's what's happening. It's a wonderful thing, really, because that will also, in itself, reduce the greenhouse effect, because that will have there's a lot of black people in the world, and once they stop using technology away from white man supremacy, and then that will then reduce. Also, it will reduce ability to support health systems and stuff like that. So you can see the long-term effect of that is will cause more illness amongst the people. But that's a natural system. Illnesses in the natural world, diseases and illnesses and stuff like that, that shorten people's lifespan down to what it was before medical systems come along and gradually increase the world's lifespan up to 70, 80 years on everyone. Now they're going to reduce it now by refusing white man's technology. We developed the health system and delivered it through the financial gains it has given the world. They're going to ban that. So therefore, the lifespan of people who were involved with this new movement of banning white man supremacist technology is going to be reduced and reduced and reduced. And that sort of will then save the climate, because obviously there'll be less and less pollution caused by the growth of human population. But it is a protest movement against white man's supremacy. So one can't argue with them. One can argue with the right to protest. There's a democratic right to protest, even if it is, that's their choice, free choice. But that's what the latest is, that black people all over the world are starting a movement to no longer engage with white man's supremacy. First of all, not buying light bulbs. When the light bulb pops out, not going to buy another one. When the TV goes, not going to buy another one. When the phone goes, not going to buy another one. When the car blows up, not going to buy another one. But that shows then the resolve amongst the people to put an end to this embarrassment of the embarrassment of knowing that you've got something in hand created by white supremacy. Yes, and it's a time, isn't it? Go back to nature. Let's go back to nature.